Customs is currently home to arguably the most powerful location to hang around in the entire game. With the release of the small expansion earlier this year, it allows players to cut through the railroad tracks that overlook the new gas station and opens up a brand new building with multiple levels, tons of vantage points, and places to provide overwatch for your teammates should the situation dictate that style of play. It has become quite a popular location for all players because since it has released, most of my engagements with other players have been in or around this new building, which has been dubbed by some the PvP building. On top of that, its general center location across the map means that noise anywhere else can be rotated to with ease, making it a popular choke point for those that want to be in a dominant position to third-party other fights going on across customs. It's just an awesome spot on the map that's both new, so people want to go check it out, but with lots of different sightlines and angles that are beneficial if you take advantage of them. Of course, all of this has come at quite a cost. The performance across most areas of the map have taken a significant hit, and Customs is now probably one of the worst performing maps in the game. Either way, it feels like we haven't had this powerful of a spot in the game since maybe D2 being introduced. So let's go over what makes this new spot so strong, what the pros and cons to being there are, and the unfortunate sacrifice some players had to make for this location. The new PvP building is essentially a 3-story building with a small garage attached to it, a scaffolding outside of it, and multiple windows with angles across many popular and high traffic spots on Customs. If you're a little creative, some of the angles you can get are nasty and can be difficult to spot if you aren't paying really close attention. There is a reason why I try to spend so much time in and around this new building. Well, there's a few reasons. As someone who enjoys the long-range aspect of EFT, these kinds of spots just make sense to take advantage of when the circumstances call for it. It's part of the reason why I always try to bring a weapon with some form of range on it. These spots across not only Customs, but pretty much the entire game, can be powerful if you have attachments that support the playstyle. It also sits nicely in the middle of the map, meaning there is a high likelihood you will see other players at some point during the raid. Combined with the fact that at this point in the wipe, getting long range is both easy and cheap, and there's pretty much no reason not to sit on the blue and red scaffolding or to sit in any of the windows inside this building and just listen to what's going on around you. You can see so much of this map when you're even just on the second floor that spotting players running from point to point becomes almost trivia with how easy it is to catch them. Of course, there are some downsides to these spots. The most obvious one is that players know how good this location can be, so they'll be checking it constantly, which means if you get complacent and don't reposition occasionally or just get caught sleeping at the wheel, they will take you down before you have a chance to retaliate. You're not the only one who wants to be up in that building. Second, most of the spots you will most likely see other players is far away, relative to the distance you normally fight on Customs. So sometimes hitting the shot on a running or even standing target can be tricky. From the new building, most places you'll be glassing like New Gas or Stronghold are at least 100 meters away, so zero up accordingly. But this is a small price to pay when you have so much of the map available to you and how easy it can be to rotate to another fight somewhere else on the map. While this whole section of the map is genuinely awesome and allows for smoother maneuvering and being able to completely bypass the New Gas choke point, it has come at a cost, and a huge one at that. The performance on Customs has become generally awful for many players, myself included, which is a terrible feeling because Customs for almost the entirety of playing EFT has been my favorite map in the game. From the general layout and design of Customs, to how it flowed as you navigated your way through it, to how often you would fight other players, be at the expected locations, or just randomly across quieter parts of this map. I love Customs, and if I had to choose only one map to play forever, it would be this one. It feels almost perfect in terms of design, layout, and balance. But now, the performance hits this map has taken makes me seriously frustrated. I can't play this map anymore without major frame rate drops across most parts of the map. What makes this even worse is that this new section of Customs performs the worst by far, dipping into the 30s for frame rate whenever I zoom in with a scope. It's such a shame, and to be brutally honest, If I could revert the expansion and have customs performing the way it was before the update, which was really solid, I would just do it in a heartbeat. I'm not even kidding. Don't get me wrong, the new area is fun and interesting, and because we're talking about it, powerful when used correctly. But if it comes at the cost of pretty much every other area in the map feeling worse, I'd rather just have customs run smoother. Performance in this game is a tough ask, and anytime something just works correctly, it's hard to ask for anything else that could jeopardize that. Even with my settings lowered slightly and begrudgingly turning on DLSS, it still feels awful. It makes me so sad. My favorite map performing like crap, it feels no better than Streets sometimes, which is saying something because that map is just never going to be optimized. And that is essentially BSG's flagship map for Tarkov. It was supposed to be the magnum opus, the crowning achievement, the culmination of everything they had learned up until that map got released, but sadly it was too ambitious of a map that had to be cut short after only one expansion because it was already too big. I remember also hearing a rumor that Streets was going to be split into 2 different maps as well to help with performance, but I think that was just a rumor and nothing more. It truly is a shame. Most new maps that have been added into EFT's lineup were marred with performance issues but would get resolved over time. But now, taking an old map that ran well and making it worse with a small expansion feels somehow even more insulting than getting a poorly optimized new map. I can only hope it gets resolved before 1.0, but considering on the new roadmap the interchange expansion has mysteriously disappeared, my hopes are nothing but dashed. Customs got expanded earlier this year, and with it came the probably current most powerful spot to occupy in EFT. With tons of different angles on a variety of POIs and choke points, to having it just be a mecca for fighting other players, the PvP building has cemented itself as a popular, potent, and powerful location across the whole game that sees tons of activity no matter the time of day you enter a raid or how long it's been since the raids start. For those who have experience in that new area of the map, you know what I mean when I say it might be the best. There isn't anything I can think of off the top of my head that fills all the roles this building currently does. It's fun, engaging, and rewards those who can take advantage of what the entire building has to offer. But it comes at the cost of the map running much worse than it did before the expansion, which is a shame because as a customs enthusiast, this will always be my favorite map. I just wish it would run better, and I would be willing to remove the recent expansion if it meant getting my frames back. Here's to hopefully seeing an improvement in the future. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Let me know down in the comment section below your thoughts on the new PvP building in Customs, if you think it's as powerful as I'm saying or not, would you remove it for more frames, and be sure to subscribe for more videos about additions to maps in EFT that had significant impacts on how players engage with it, and also how it could have potentially ruined a map we know and love. Hope to see you in future ones.